Hi, my name is Francis Glindro. My IGN is Duckey. I am the current head coach for Mobile Legends for Bren Esports. God. I would be lying if I say na hindi ako disappointed, and it's quite frustrating. I mean, we've had a good run back in season 6 and not a really bad run in season 7, but this time around medyo bumagsak talaga yung game namin. I mean, our run was not one of the best. So yeah, it's pretty disappointing, and at the same time, there were a lot of learnings during this season that we really need to learn upon and ponder upon. There were a lot of things that I could say na nag-iba in comparison or in contrast with season 6 and season 7. Like halatang-halata ako na or pansin ko na naging complacent yung team in terms of their performance and their in-game attitude, as well as outside of the game attitude. For me, I think my team would agree na pinakamahirap na kalaban would definitely be Onyx Philippines. They have their own strategy which is different from other Filipino teams na naging bootleg copy nung strat ng Blacklist. So for me, since they have their own identity, they have their own strat, it was pretty hard to prepare for kasi nga iba yung kanila. It's definitely discipline and attitude towards the game. Those two simple things. It was a heartbreaking loss, definitely, kasi we were hoping to turn the things around kung makakapasok kami ng playoffs. Kasi nga, I was quite sure na the problem was their attitude and their complacency. And unfortunately, hindi namin na-secure yung playoffs, which is really heartbreaking kasi we were hoping to play again in the World Series. So yeah, it's really heartbreaking. It was a non-bearing game, so I don't think that was a disrespect. All the players that played in that particular game were actually part of the roster. Since it's a non-bearing game, it's just fair enough for them to actually play because they're also part of the roster. So I don't think that's a disrespect, because the game is, if you watch the games itself, I watched them. I wasn't there, but I watched them right after the games, and they were putting all their best. Now, if you're talking about the no ban strat, that's a legit strat. Like, there were games in other titles na they were doing it. Well, if I was the analyst, it was pretty slow for him kasi nga he didn't really know the attitude of the team. So he was helping out in terms of analyzing the games kasi he was appointed as our in-game analyst. So that was one of the learning factors that the things that we learned during the season is like the mas marami palang tao, the more eyes is looking into our gameplay, it definitely helps. So yeah, it was when we turned things around, like after our slump, like the first 3 series was it was like stump for us, like tinatalo talaga kami nila like 0-2, and we couldn't win a game. So yeah, when we turned the slump around, that was one of my proudest moments kasi I didn't know na I could simply turn things around with just one simple talk with the team. In terms of gameplay, siguro, I would say, wala naging consistent sila sa kanila this season. It was like a roller coaster for everyone involved. There were a lot of points for improvement for the team all throughout the regular season. If I would name like just one player all throughout the season, siguro si Edward. Yeah, he's very consistent. Hard to say, but from the top of my head, yes. Okay, the Philippines versus Indonesia scene, which are the two biggest scenes in Mobile Legends, have like are actually polar opposites in terms of gameplay. So if someone is going to be the representative for the Philippines, it's definitely going to be Blacklist. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like Indonesia versus Philippines, and then Blacklist representing the Philippines with their strategy. Yeah. It's the fans definitely. Like I know everyone or our supporters would love to see us come back from this and do our thing again. And right now we're taking a break. And yeah, I think that's the most important thing to focus on is to take a break, take a rest, and then regroup when everything is subsided, when the dust settles, and then everyone is in focus again. Yeah. Yes, it is still worth it. I mean, my choices are always worth it. Like I would do it again. Yeah, I would do it again. Off-season plans, yeah, take a break, scout new players, new talents, and then build the structure going to season 9. And yun, just just take it easy for now and chill. If I would just name one particular thing is don't let anyone catch up. I'm actually considering a lot of things, but for now, yeah, just like I said, I'll I'll take some rest, some days off, and think about my next moves. You guys will know about it. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Thank you for the effort for MPL Season 8. Really appreciate you guys. Despite our setbacks, you guys still showed up and played as if you wanted to win. Then again, it wasn't enough. So sana next season, if we are still in the same team, I hope that yung mga bagay na natutunan natin this season, you take it to heart and learn from them. It goes the same for me. Sana lang you guys show the same hunger that we saw back in season 5 and season 6. I know we can do it, and sana we set our foots again sa World Series. Ayun na, maraming salamat sa supporters ng Bren Esports. We love you guys. Yun lang masasabi ko. You've been with us, through ups and downs. We may not have been very consistent as what you guys would have wanted us to be, but I really appreciate you guys sticking around. And yun, maraming salamat.